One of last year's big horror flicks was the zombie film 28 Years Later. It became one of my favorite horror flicks of last year. And just a few months ago, earlier this year, we got a continuation to it, but performed disastrously. Did this film really deserve to be a big box office disappointment? Or am I going to pick a bone to pick with you moviegoers from not giving this film enough credit to make it a big hit like its predecessor? Find out right now as I bring to you a spoiler free review of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. PD's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a spoiler-free review of, the 2026 post-apocalyptic horror flick, 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, released by Columbia, directed by Nia DaCosta, written by Alex Garland. This is the sequel to 28 Years Later and fourth overall installment of the 28 Days Later film series. The film stars Ralph Fiennes, reprises his role from the previous film, along with Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, Erin Kellyman, and Lewis-Parry. The film follows Spike as he is adopted into Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal's satanic cult, while Dr. Kelson makes an unexpected connection with Samson and Alpha Infected. This film was released earlier this year on January 16th of 2026, 3 days after it premiered in the UK. Well, unfortunately, it underperformed, failing to make it, well, make it come close to its predecessor, but still, it was still well received though. I would recommend you check out my review of the previous film, which is also spoiler free, before you go into this one. All right, I just thought I'd give you time. So, again, with my spoiler free reviews, I'm only giving you just a little bit of the story, but not much though. After being rescued by the Fangers, a gang of fighters led by the zealous Saiyan worshipper Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal, Spike is forced to kill Jimmy Shite in a death match as an initiation. Sir Jimmy renames the young boy Jimmy to match the other Fingers, who include the more empathetic Jimmy Inc. and the sadistic Jemima. Dr. Ian Kelson continues to build up the Bone Temple, an ossuary for those killed in the Rage virus epidemic, while the Alpha infected Samson repeatedly visits him. Kelson deduces that Samson is becoming addicted to the morphine from his blowgun, deliberately allowing himself to be drugged. Samson no longer attacks Kelson, and the two develop a friendship as his humanity begins to resurface. Running low on sedatives, Kelson prepares and euthanize Samson, but is overjoyed when Samson speaks the word moon, suggesting that the rage virus may be treatable. And the Fingers raid a farm inhabited by survivors, including Tom and his pregnant partner, Kathy. Sir Jimmy sends Jimmy to scout the surrounding area where she catches sight of the Bone Temple. Samson Kelson, whose skin is covered in iodine solution, which he wears to protect himself from the virus, in a barn. Kathy hides as Sir Jimmy orders the Fingers to skin the captured survivors alive as a sacrifice to Old Nick, claiming that Satan is his father and speaks to him. Now that's all the story I will give to you. If you want to know what happens next, you must see the movie. Now for my thoughts on the film, I will say it is on par with its predecessor, and I'm so glad we have a good way to continue the film. Well, I mean the story after the events of the previous film, which was actually pretty good, actually. But anyway, I will say it's a pretty good horror flick. The film unfortunately missed its price tag by that much. It failed to only make 58 million against its 63 million dollar budget worldwide. But however, despite its failure, it still got good reviews though. Please stand by. Sorry about that. Now, upon its release, film's gotten good reviews though, with 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, calling it a direct continuation of 28 years later that ups the gore while deepening the dread. The Bone Temple is finally adorned by Nia DaCosta's unnerving direction, as well as Ralph Fiennes and Jack O'Connell's inspired performances. Metacritic has a score of 81, and audiences polled by CinemaScore give it an average grade of an A minus, up from the B grade the previous film got. And audiences surveyed by PostTrack give it an average rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars, with 72% saying they would definitely recommend it. Amy Nicholson of the LA Times wrote, gruesomely both low and highbrow, it's the movie equivalent of Jello wrestling an anthropology professor at Burning Man, which may have been the inspiration of one of its standout characters, Ralph Fiennes' spry and mesmerizing Ian Kelson. Well, I do agree and what have you. This film eventually does a good job in continuing the story. With music, who I'm sorry I cannot perform pronounce the composer of the score, but still it's pretty good though. I mean, what was really cool is we get to hear some pretty good tunes though, especially Iron Maiden's "Number of the Beast." That's my first time hearing that because I know that was one of their pretty big popular albums back in the '80s, you know. But nevertheless, I found this to be pretty good. Now, the film's director is Nia DaCosta, who most people would remember for directing the Candyman reboot and the Marvels. But anyway, she does a good job in directing this. But I will say it does have some pretty bloody goriness and what have you. So if you enjoyed what you saw in the last one, then you need to continue the series by watching this one. The film's currently available on physical media, and it's also now available to watch on Netflix, which that's actually where I watched it. Now, despite the film's disappointment, it will still get another installment because The Bone Temple was announced as the second part of a planned trilogy. So, I'm glad to hear that we will still get a continuation to this. So, and I wish them the best of luck that this will do better than this one did. But nevertheless, this proved to be pretty good. Now, for the cast, we have Ralph Fiennes back as Dr. Ian Kelson. He's still good, just like last time. Really good. Jack O'Connell plays Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal. Now, I have to give this guy credit. I'm not really sure if I've known him from much of anything. I'm trying to look. Well, no. And he's been in some films like 300, Rise of an Empire, Unbroken, Mind Monster. Oh yeah, and he actually played Remick in Sinners last year. Another one of the biggest horror films of last year, which that was really cool. Alfie Williams played Spike. Now I have to say he's pretty good, and of course he returns from the previous film. So so he does a good job. Playing Jimmy Inc. is Erin Kellyman, who absolutely does a good job because, well, she has appeared in, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the Willow series from Disney Plus. She's also been in Solo, A Star Wars Story, and The Green Knight as well. So I gotta give her credit. And Lewis-Parry played Samson. Yeah, so apparently he's pretty good, but boy, this guy's pretty darn big and what have you. But anyway, and the rest of the cast is pretty good as well. Now, I will give you heads up. You will see a cameo in the last bit of the film by one of the characters from the first film, 28 Days Later. I'm not telling you who it is. You're just going to have to see the movie. So, with everything said, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, despite its failure at the box office here in the US, it still proved to be as good as its predecessor. And with the great performances from both Ralph Fiennes and Jack O'Connell and the rest of the cast, plus its great soundtrack and directed by Nia DaCosta, I think this film's pretty good. Still has some pretty bloody moments, but still, it's pretty enjoyable. I would recommend you watch this if you're a hardcore completionist, and if you like 28 Years Later from last year, definitely. For my score, I'm giving 28 Years Later The Bone Temple 4.5 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it a 9, just like the last one. So, what did you think of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you my Saturday morning TV log on Will a Real Jerry Lewis Please Sit Down? So, if you like this, check out my reviews for the other two parts of the 28 years, or should I say, Days Later franchise. Check out my review of 28 Days Later in the upper left hand corner, or go to the upper right hand corner and check out my review of its sequel, 28 Weeks Later. Or if you'd like another recent horror film from this past year, check out my recent spoiler-free review of Primate in the bottom left-hand corner. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.